about to spend the next 2 months of my life transforming this into a piece of public art. Where did I find the material? How did I move this much weight around and get it placed here where it is? And why would you build a wave in the middle of landlocked Tennessee? Hang out, guys. We're all gonna find out right now. Welcome, everybody. Today, we combine art, skateboarding, and our pursuit of craftsmanship to create a metal sculpture that is actually going to become a skateboard ramp at our local skate park. But I don't want this to be reduced to just a skate ramp. This is a serious piece of art that we put a lot of thought into. I've had this in my mind for the last 2.5 years, and I'm really trying to capture the motion of the ocean and the power and strength that the ocean and waves have. So we're doing that with a static object in the skate park, and hopefully we can figure it out. I've never built anything this scale before, this complex, and definitely never taken on an art project this big. So it's gonna be a bit of a mystery to see if we can actually make it through to the end of this thing. So hang out, guys, and we're gonna see if we can make this wave happen. The whole thing started with my vision to recreate this moment that I had during my childhood. We used to skateboard through the neighborhoods. I was never a great skater, can't really do any tricks or anything, but I liked cruising around with my buddies in the neighborhood. There was this wall with this really long hedgerow that went down it, and the hedge hung over onto the street and sidewalk. So we would go through and we would go right along the wall with the bushes over our head, and we pretend that we were, getting barreled in a big wave as we were skating through the neighborhood. And we just had endless fun through there all summer long. And I just thought if I could recreate that moment for some other kids in the skate park, it would be a really cool addition to this whole project. So I found this salvage tank that gives us a head start on the basic shape of the wave, which is obviously, a tube. And the challenge right now is to pull a wave out of that shape, and also make sure it doesn't collapse as we cut it out, because steel is really strong when it's in a tube, but as soon as we compromise that by cutting it apart into a bunch of pieces, the whole thing could collapse on itself, and I don't want to be inside that thing or anywhere around it when it does that. So step one is to reinforce this whole project with these gusset plates that we cut on the laser last week. The plates are going to give it strength and also give us space to mount the rest of the artwork too. The construction crew has already started pouring concrete on the skate park, so the pressure is starting to build a little bit. We only have 2 weeks to get this thing completed before the park really needs to be done and needs to be unveiled to the city. So really have to, get this figured out in a short period of time, which is going to create a little bit of tension maybe here in the shop. Hope things go smooth. We have a really great crew. I've got Steven working with me, who has been here for over 5 years. We work really well together. I trust him a ton. He trusts me, and we get a lot done together. And we're kind of gluttons for punishment. We really enjoy figuring hard stuff out and kind of bonking our heads on things until we find a solution. So really looking forward to this project. It's a 100% donation by us. So it's not a paying customer, which means they're not very picky on the specifications. They're really letting us run wild with the idea and put all of our influence and creativity and energy into making this wave something that will have an impact on everybody that comes through the park. Even the people that don't skate should be able to feel the power of this wave, crashing through the park. Every challenge is an opportunity, and every mistake is a chance to try something new. For us on this project, the journey is just as important as the destination. We're trying to develop an art program here at Maker Table, and it starts with building the portfolio, doing jobs like this that are unpaid, but that we're really passionate about and we feel a connection to. So I couldn't think of a better way to get started into the art world than something that's so near and dear to my heart. I grew up on the ocean, deep sea fishing with my dad, summers in Hawaii, Santa Cruz, Malibu, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach. Spent a lot of time in the ocean and in the waves, and it's always a happy memory for me to go back to. So living here in Tennessee, we're totally landlocked. I haven't been to the ocean in over 8 years, and I want somewhere to visit where I can feel that energy and kind of have my own mental beach day as I go to the park. This whole thing really is a team effort. The city got involved, the Kiwanis Club got involved, we got some grants from the Tony Hawk Foundation, got some grants from Walmart, some private donors jumped into this. We're donating a lot of material. There's also other local contractors and companies that are donating materials to the job site. We got concrete, gravel. It's really amazing to see everybody come together. The skate park contractor we found is Hunger Skate Parks, and they are full of a group of skaters that build skate parks. So they are really function minded, and they're really worried about the flow and the use of this park, which is really fun to see. We're learning a lot about how skate parks are made, what the expectations are, and how to actually get into the nuts and bolts and make the rails for grinding, the boxes, sandwich boards, the bowls, including the wave. We're really getting involved in this, and it's been a fun learning experience as we kind of go through. And we have these awesome guides with Hunger Skate Parks that explain everything to us and are really collaborative in their efforts. Any cool ideas we come up with, they jump all over, and vice versa. When they have input on the wave and how it's going to interact with the park, we are all ears wide open and totally in learning mode, trying to make sure that this whole thing comes together, because it's really our steel and their concrete both have to meet together seamlessly so that this thing is actually a feature and not a bug of the park. We have this whole thing cut apart, and it should be lifting up right now. I don't really know what's going on. I did leave some sections uncut for safety, and they should all be near the edges. Hopefully I didn't leave anything uncut in the middle where it's kind of the danger zone. So I'm really not sure what's happening here. We got to just keep taking our time and be really methodical and careful, because we don't want this whole thing to crumble or come off the rigging. We don't want to have an accident. So we just really got to be patient here and figure out what's going on. There it is. I found the spot right here. Let me cut this one spot, and this thing should lift right out of here. There it goes. Okay, we have a wave, guys. Holy smokes, we have a wave! Oh man, this is the first time I've seen this like out of the tube. I could see this in my mind. I've explained it to a zillion people over the years, and I finally have something to show you guys. Now you're starting to see the vision of the wave coming out of this freaking old salvage tube. Okay, we're in a great spot on the wave right now, but we have a serious winter storm coming in that's going to shut down the whole zone. So we need to figure out a way to get this thing inside the building so we can keep working on it and stay on schedule. Because like I said earlier, the concrete's already started. The skate park crew is on site. They're going as fast as they can, and we really need to get this wave done so we don't hold them up in the schedule. That was a little bit tricky. The storm already started. It started raining on us as soon as we opened the back door to get the wave inside. But you know, we got it on skates, and with the two forklifts, we were able to kind of muscle it inside with a little bit of clever rigging using a chain and these skates that we have here. Okay, so what's going on with this pump?
Well, the pump was acting up the last time we tried to use it. The thrust seals, I think, are what the problem is. Or at least a part of it. Like, there's a lot of corrosion and stuff on the thrust seal, and it's causing it not want to stroke properly, which is a huge issue. You can't have that happening. So unfortunately, we got to take the pump to St. Louis to get it fixed.
So what's that do to the schedule?
It puts us behind, unfortunately. All right, well, we can't do shotcrete, so now we got to make do with what we can do, which is unfortunate.
All right, welding's complete. We've got, well, not complete, but the structural welding portion is almost complete. Basically, we're ready to start skinning this thing and setting the angle of the wave with the strong backs that are gonna end up going in some concrete footers later down the line. The technique for skinning this thing, originally I was gonna use sheets and basically conform them to these, wave-formed gusset plates that we laser cut already. But the sheets are really hard to manipulate. I wasn't getting the shapes that I wanted. So it's just another one of those things that didn't quite work out how I expected. But, that's art, and that's the beauty of creativity, is finding solutions when you have limited resources, limited time. That's when really the juices start flowing and you come up with some cool stuff. So I jumped in the scrap bin and started stacking up different material to try and make a really natural shape of water flowing down the back of this thing. I tried tube, I tried some cap rail, tried some molded cast products that we had around the shop. I tried some strips that we had, left over from the laser last week, and really ended up liking this strip idea of these stacked strips. So I've got two different widths. I've got 4-inch and 2-inch, so we don't have too regular of a surface. That, you know, the differing widths should help us stack and create some sort of motion along the back of this thing. I also wanted to make sure that the thing sheds water. It's going to live outside for years and years, so it has to be constructed in a way that's not going to collect and hold water, so we don't have issues with freezing and expansion and the whole thing blowing apart next winter after it gets a good, you know, rain and freeze going. So we're going to shingle these from the bottom up to make sure that they shed water continuously. 3.5 years of planning, dreaming, and hoping that this wave would happen. It's finally here. It's on the trailer. It's ready to install. So I am super nervous. I hope this works out. This is definitely a first for me. Hope the rigging points are in the right spot. Hope the lift is big enough. Hope the grade is done correctly. Hope the concrete gets poured on time. Hope the weather holds out. It might rain on us today. We've got a lot going on, and the pressure is on. So let's get to it and see what happens. So now we have, you know, we've got the tube form of the wave and we have the back skinned. So now the big puzzle is how are we going to close that gap between the two surfaces? You know, waves start at the front and they're really narrow as the water starts, you know, crashing over and gravity takes over and starts pulling it down into the rest of the ocean again. And then they get, you know, slowly thicker as it goes back down the wave. So we need something that we can transition that thickness with seamlessly and also give it another moving water-like sort of transition. So what I decided on was some 5/8 round bar stock. We can really mold this and manipulate it and make it look super curvy and flowy, just like water is. And as we stack them up, it's going to give some texture to it and some depth that's really going to make it look like the transition from that smooth, glossy wave face to the choppy, you know, flowing back of the wave. Now we've got the bar stock, you know, kind of cruising down, and it's going to meet with the coping from the concrete at some point. So we need to also bring some coping from the concrete into our wave and then transfer back to our stacked bar stock. This is really handwork that just has to be done by eye. There's no laying this out. There's no doing this on the laser. There's no pre-planning. We just have to figure it out as we go. And there's a few little puzzles that, you know, we're kind of running into here. The transition's not working out great. We're gonna have to come up with a slightly different approach. You know, hopefully we'll get this to work because I have an idea in my head, and the challenge is getting it out into the shop. Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us here on the Epic Build Project. If you'd like to find out more about MakerTable and the products that we make, and even support us in the channel and the things that we do here, please check out makertable.com in the link below. I'd really appreciate it. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know what sculptures you want to see in the future. We're going to be doing more of this stuff this year and hopefully in years to come. I really enjoyed doing this and I'm looking for more sculptures to make. So please let me know what you guys want to see next. thank you so much. That's it. We're all done. We're wrapping up here on our epic build project. If you guys want to, please hit subscribe down below, like the video, leave me a comment. Not only does it help me out and help me produce more content for you guys, but also if you subscribe, it gives us a chance to hang out later on our future videos. So please smash that subscribe button, and happy making. We'll catch you guys next time. Later.